Violence and chaos escalated in August as mobsters used guerrilla tactics to stage strikes, block public transport, prevent residents from going to work, damage public facilities, seize police stations, and attack police officers across Hong Kong, pushing the city to the brink. On August the 3rd, radical protesters sabotaged area in Yau Ma Tai, Tsim Sha Tsui, and Mongkok. They blocked the Cross Harbor Tunnel twice, paralyzing traffic between Hong Kong Island and Kowloon. On August 4th, protesters caused considerable damage in western Hong Kong Island, Causeway Bay, and San Quano by blocking roads and storming several police stations. On August the 5th, flash mobs stirred up trouble across Hong Kong. Hey, 36 roads and the Cross Harbor Tunnel were blocked. 96 buses suspended or rerouted. 8 MTR lines obstructed, and more than 200 flights canceled. Radical protesters raided at least 10 police stations. They scribbled words to insult police, hurled patrol bombs and firebombs at police stations and officers, shot vision-harming lasers, and ruined police vehicles.
It's recognised all around the world that Hong Kong and Taiwan are actually part of China. That's how it's recognised. Every country recognises it.
呢啲挑戰國家主權、危害一國兩制嘅違法行為，會摧毀香港嘅穩定繁榮。
持續嘅亂局同埋暴力衝突已經嚴重損害咗香港嘅法治，破壞咗香港營商嘅環境，侵蝕咗國際社會對香港嘅信心。有絕大部分嘅市民尚未有發聲嘅，佢哋默默注視着局勢嘅發展，而佢哋最關心同埋最憂心嘅係點樣呢度點樣咁可以咁樣繼續落去呢？如果一路咁樣繼續落去，整個香港都會輸咗嘅。
On August the 11th, protesters threw patrol bombs and wounded at least one policeman.
"这是对香港法治和社会秩序的粗暴践踏，是对香港市民生命安全的严重威胁，是对香港繁荣稳定的严重挑战。对这样的暴力犯罪行径，必须坚决依法打击，毫不手软，毫不留情。"
Shockingly, violent acts also occurred at the Hong Kong International Airport. On August 13th, violent radicals unlawfully detained a resident from Shenzhen surnamed Shu, who held a Hong Kong and Macau travel permit for private visit purposes and was at the airport to see people off. They tied him up, shot a laser at his eyes, and beat him into a coma. After midnight of August 14th, some violent radicals tied up both hands of a Global Times reporter surnamed Fu, beat him up in the name of suspecting him to be a fake reporter, causing multiple injuries to Fu.
这是非常令人愤慨的一件事情，全香港、全世界的人都会对这种暴力事件是以最严厉的谴责的。
The radical protesters have become better equipped, coordinated, and planned, and they have continued to push the level of violence to new heights. Alarmingly, many weapon depots containing explosives, firebombs, and knives, suspected to be owned by radical protesters, have been uncovered in police operations. From June the 9th to August the 15th, the Hong Kong police arrested 748 people suspected of illegal assembly, rioting, and assaulting the police. 177 police officers suffered injuries on duty. During the recent riots, the Hong Kong police force has honored their duties and enforced the law with professionalism, and great restraint. It has maintained its reputation as one of the world's most outstanding police forces. What is more alarming is that anti-China forces in the West have colluded with local anti-China forces who intend to mess with Hong Kong. On multiple occasions, foreign nationals were seen meeting and talking with radical protesters. Recently, leaders of Hong Kong independence groups secretly met with officials of the U.S. Consulate General in Hong Kong. The day after their meeting, the group said on social media that they plan to boycott classes in September. Certain forces in the U.S. and Britain have deliberately ignored extreme violence and illegal protests and attempted to beautify mobsters as campaigners of freedom, democracy, and human rights.
點解頭先會攞英國國旗、美國國旗出嚟嘅？你唔攞法國，唔攞印度，唔攞新加坡 ？What a shame! What a shame to Hong Kong!
Looking back at what happened during the past 2 months, the Ordinance Amendment issues have changed in their essence and now bear the features of a color revolution. Should violence and chaos be allowed to continue, the safety of Hong Kong citizens' lives and property will be endangered, and the governance authority of the SAR government, the cornerstone of the rule of law in Hong Kong, its prosperity and stability, and the one country, two systems will be destroyed. Citizens of Hong Kong will not allow this to happen. The people of China will not allow this to happen.
強烈譴責，干預香港事務，強烈譴責。
外国的政府也好，外国的一些举动也好，也应该停止，让香港恢复一个正常理性。
On August the 7th, the Hong Kong and Macau Affairs Office of the State Council and the Liaison Office of the Central People's Government in Hong Kong jointly held a symposium in Shenzhen, South China's Guangdong province, briefing the attendees on the central authorities' policies on stabilizing Hong Kong's situation. It stressed that the most pressing and overriding task in Hong Kong is to stop violence, end the chaos, and restore order.
我也要在这里呼吁，香港已经走到了一个重要关头，所有关心香港前途的人都应该坚定地站出来，向一切犯罪行为说不，向一切暴力分子说不，止暴制乱，恢复秩序，这是香港当前压倒一切的最重要、最紧迫的任务。